In a lavish five-star hotel in Mumbai, the clinking of glasses and quiet murmurs of the elite were shattered by a single desperate request. A young waiter named Arab Mehera, after a long night shift, approached the staff kitchen. He just wanted some leftover food. What he got instead was public humiliation. "Look at him," a guest sneered, "so poor he has to beg for scraps." The room filled with judgment and laughter. Arab stood silently, enduring the insults, his face a mask of weary resignation. He didn't defend himself. He just absorbed the scorn. But someone was watching. In a quiet corner sat Isha Kapoor, the heiress to a powerful business empire. She recognized Arab. Just weeks before, he had served her with a professionalism and grace that stood out. This didn't make sense. Why would a man with such dignity be reduced to this? Something felt wrong. Isha couldn't stand by. She rose, her voice cutting through the noise. "What is happening here?" she demanded of the hotel manager. "Is this how you treat your staff? A man is hungry, and you mock him?" The crowd fell silent. Isha walked over to Arab, her eyes filled with a steely resolve. "You will eat," she said, loud enough for everyone to hear. "And you will eat with dignity." With that one act, she silenced the critics and restored a man's honor. But for Isha, this was more than just a moment of charity. It was a puzzle. She felt a pull, a need to understand the man behind the waiter's uniform. Who was Arab Mehera, really? Driven by a gut feeling she couldn't ignore, Isha ordered a background check on Arab. The results were puzzlingly blank. He was an orphan from a small village with no formal degree and, mysteriously, no digital footprint. It was as if he was a ghost. His past was a locked vault. This only deepened Isha's curiosity. She decided she had to see for herself. One night, she secretly followed him after his shift, her car trailing him through the chaotic streets of Mumbai until he disappeared into the labyrinthine alleys of Dharavi, one of Asia's largest slums. Peeking through a crack in a rusty tin wall, Isha saw something that stunned her. There, in a tiny, dimly lit room, sat Arab. In front of him was an old, battered laptop. On the screen were complex lines of code. He was studying Python, artificial intelligence, and cybersecurity. This wasn't just a waiter trying to get by. This was a hidden genius, burning the midnight oil in pursuit of knowledge. Just as she was processing this, an elderly neighbor knocked on his door, looking frail and hungry. Without hesitation, Arab shared his meager meal with her. In that moment, Isha saw his true character, a man of immense intellect and even greater compassion, trapped by circumstances she couldn't yet comprehend. She knew she had stumbled upon something extraordinary. This was no ordinary waiter. This was a man with a story that needed to be told, a story she was now determined to uncover. What could have possibly brought a brilliant mind like his to this place? The deeper Isha dug, the more heartbreaking the story became. Flashbacks revealed a different Arab, a top student at the prestigious Indian Institute of Technology, a tech prodigy with a future so bright it was blinding. He was in love, planning a life with his girlfriend Anat. But tragedy struck. A horrific accident left Anaya severely injured, plunging Arab's world into darkness. The medical bills were astronomical. To save the woman he loved, he made an impossible choice. He sold his groundbreaking tech projects, dropped out of university, and abandoned his dreams. He gave up everything. To escape the ghost of his past, he fled to Mumbai, burying his identity and starting over. He became a waiter, a nameless face in a bustling city, surviving day by day through honest, grueling labor. He chose a life of anonymity to pay for a life he couldn't bear to lose. Now, seeing the pieces of his past fall into place, Isha understood the quiet dignity and the deep sadness in his eyes. He wasn't just a waiter asking for food. He was a fallen prince, a silent hero who had sacrificed his kingdom for love. And Isha knew with absolute certainty that a mind like his couldn't stay hidden forever. She had a cybersecurity startup, Kavak, that was on the brink of collapse, targeted by relentless cyber attacks. She needed a miracle, and she had just found one in the most unexpected place. Isha approached Arab with an offer that would change both their lives forever. She invited him to join her struggling startup, Kavak, which means shield in Hindi. She showed him the sophisticated attacks that were crippling her company, attacks her own team of experts couldn't stop. Arab, seeing a chance to use his skills for something meaningful again, agreed. He quickly uncovered the truth. These weren't random attacks. They were a deliberate, coordinated assault by a powerful corporate rival, a ruthless tycoon who wanted to crush Kavak and monopolize the market. What started as a corporate battle quickly escalated into an all-out digital war. Arab and the rival's hackers engaged in a high-stakes chess match, setting traps, leaking data, and fighting for control in the shadowy world of cyberspace. But the enemy didn't just play online. When they realized they couldn't beat Arab in the digital realm, they crossed a line. As retaliation, they kidnapped Isha, seeking to break her spirit and force her to surrender. But they underestimated Arab. He wasn't just a coder. He was a man who had already lost everything once. He would not let it happen again. Risking his own life, he tracked Isha down and confronted the criminal mastermind behind it all in a dramatic showdown. The entire cybercrime network was exposed and brought to justice. Kavak was saved, and the news hailed Arab as the silent sentinel, a guardian of the digital world. His past was no longer a source of shame, but a symbol of his resilience. But just as they celebrated their victory, a new threat emerged from the shadows. An old ally of Arabs, known only as Shunya or Zero, reappeared, not as a friend, but as a formidable new enemy, turning their triumph into a deeper, more personal battle between order and chaos, ethics and ambition. The war was far from over. It had only just begun. The final battle for Kavak's soul was fought not with code, but with truth. Arab's former ally Shunya, along with other powerful enemies, launched a smear campaign, twisting the narrative to paint Arab as a villain and Isha as a reckless amateur. They aimed to destroy Kavak's reputation from the inside out. But Arab had one last, brilliant move. He orchestrated a live-streamed event, a digital trap that lured his enemies into revealing their own corruption to the entire world. As millions watched, the web of lies unraveled, exposing the rot at the core of the corporate and political establishment. The public outcry was deafening. The victory was absolute. Arab, the once shamed waiter, had become a digital folk hero. Kavok was no longer just a company. It transformed into a movement for digital justice, dedicated to protecting the vulnerable and ensuring that technology served humanity, not the other way around. Arab and Isha, now partners in every sense of the word, dedicated their lives to this new mission. They built a shield for the powerless, proving that true strength isn't about wealth or status, but about the courage to stand for what's right, even when you have nothing. The story of the waiter who asked for leftovers became a legend. A reminder that heroes can be found in the most unexpected places, and that a single act of kindness can change the world. Thanks for watching. If you were inspired by this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more.